to royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Hi, Kins.
Hi, Kev. Yeah, I mean, we were hit like a dump truck by some of these Tom Quinn allegations, but also a full backflip from the judge when it comes to Prince Harry's visa paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to cover both of those. I told you I used to be Tom Quinn's boss. He worked for me at the Daily Mirror, and now he's an eminent royal author. So it just goes to show everybody that works for me does better than I do. You know, Piers Morgan. I was Piers Morgan's boss once.
Oh wow, that's so funny! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it next week. Anyway, right. Let's talk first, though, before we get to those important stories that you've just mentioned, about Meghan. She's released a video. She's basically turned, in my view, the horror, the tragedy of the Los Angeles fires that so many people died in, so many people lost their homes in, into happy, snappy, cute content for her Instagram site.
Oh my God.
Well, first of all, let's just watch it with an increasing sense of dismay, if you agree with me. Take it away, Ms. Markle.
Just told that something arrived that I have been waiting for. Oh my God. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, when my husband and I were in Altadena, we went to a community where all the homes were left in ashes. This mom had found a couple things, and as I was talking to her, I turned and looked and I saw this young woman, and I said, "Oh my gosh, how old are you?" She's 15. She lives there. And her mom shared something with me and said that when they came back to see their house for the first time, which was as we were meeting them, that all that she'd been looking for in her home was the t-shirt from the Billie Eilish concert that she had just gone to, that she left in the washing machine or the dryer. And of course, they now see their home and the washing machine and the dryer are ash. They're not there anymore. And so I said, well, I don't know Billie Eilish, but I'm going to figure out how to get you this shirt. So I thought of everybody that I knew, and I made a voice note, and I was like, please, can someone get this voice note to Billie Eilish? Here's what I'm asking. You guys, I don't even know what all of this stuff means, but it's signed for her. Is that a thing? A lunchbox thing? I don't know. This is when I feel really old. Huge thank you, Billie Eilish. This is going to mean so much to her. And honestly, to Adam Levine and Bahati, you guys helped get this over the line. To everyone who's showing up for people in big and small ways to get through what's happened in California, just thank you so much. I'm going to go and email her mom now. Just wanted to share that with you guys.
I barely know what to say, Kinsey, but when is this woman going to get the memo that people do not want to see her turning the Los Angeles tragedy, the catastrophe of California, into good publicity for herself? First of all, her and Harry, as she said 2 or 3 weeks ago, they turn up for a photo op, traipsing through the ashes of people's destroyed homes, enraging many people in Los Angeles, particularly the victims. Justine Bateman, the actress, and Sharon's daughter, Kelly Osbourne, among them, just recording videos to say, well, this is disaster tourism. These two are ghouls. They are tragedy vultures. You know, what on earth do they think they're doing? Grief grifters, they were called. She just sort of closes her ears to that. The next day, she's filmed going back there, you know, generously, oh so generously and filmically, being caught on camera as always, with big bags of supplies for those made homeless. People go, shut up with her, stop doing this. But she won't listen to this. And now she's doing it again. I mean, this is crass and inappropriate. You know, and by the way, you know, why didn't, you know, Billie Eilish doesn't have to send her merchandise to Meghan. She could have sent it directly to the girl. You know, and the whole premise of this is somehow or other that the mother is distraught about losing her home, as you would be, but worse than that, she's lost her washing machine, and in which was a Billie Eilish T-shirt that her 15-year-old daughter liked. You know, I would imagine that woman probably wasn't that bothered about the T-shirt, and I wouldn't imagine that a sensible 15-year-old would be either. I mean, you know, talk about over the top. Oh, look, look, look. I mean, she's so tone deaf. I mean, if you're watching Meghan, just stop this. Stop humiliating yourself. It's awful to watch, isn't it?
I mean, I really thought just reimagine the beach video where we could see the 2025 written in the sand multiple times. So imagine how she looks so frazzled and she's like, running her hands through her hair and trying to make it look authentic and chaotic. Imagine how many times that was shot. Realistically, knowing how many times she shot the beach video with the 2025 written in the sand. You don't have to announce everything nice that you do for other people, and you certainly don't have to name drop multiple celebrities along the way. She is so insecure and so desperate to be liked. She is so desperate to feel like she is in the circle. And she reeks of it. It's hard to take anything she does over the next few days, and that's including Invictus, as anything sincere, when you know that her relationship with Netflix really relies on the success of this show coming out in March. It feels like even that pathetic video of this person's entire house burned down. I got them some Billie Eilish merch.
Sorry, if you didn't laugh, you'd cry.
I know.
It's just so crass.
Yeah, it feels like it's all in preparation to promote. I'd like to take the ordinary and make extraordinary. I like to make people feel special. Yeah. Well, you're giving them your house in Portugal might make them feel a little bit more special than the Billie Eilish merch, Meghan Markle. But it all feels like it's in promotion for her show, and that just feels icky and dirty.
Yeah. So why is she filming? Why is she taking the LA fires and turning it into content for her Instagram account? Content that, of course, makes her look good. In Meghan's world, good deeds must not only be done, they must be seen to be done. Look at me. Look at me being wonderful. Aren't I wonderful? Not particularly, Meghan. Quite the opposite, actually. But the reason she's doing this is to try to escape the shackles of Vanity Fair's 8,000-word report that labelled her a dreadful bully who reduced her staff to a traumatic state, so much so that one of them had to go into long-term therapy, following on from the bullying allegations in The Hollywood Reporter last September. 12 former employees, one current actually, all saying that she was a tyrant in high heels who reduced staff to tears, to grown men to tears, prone to 5 a.m. tantrums, all of this, plus the bullying allegations. So basically, back in Britain when she was working here. So basically, she's trying to blot that out and say, no, I'm lovely. Well, good luck with that. She's toxic in Hollywood. But the reason she's trying to do that, as you quite rightly say, March the 4th, out comes Meghan with Love. And as you can work out, while the people all over the world, America, Britain, all over the world, struggling in the cost of living crisis, will be heartened to tune in to Meghan with Love to find out how to make ladybird-shaped canapes. I mean, she is so out of touch, it's almost tragic, isn't it?
It's unfortunate, but I think that the show is one thing, but to try to market yourself off of somebody's worst day and worst period of their life is really just, and I can't comprehend it whatsoever. You need to move on from this, Meghan. You need to, unless they're going to do something significant and plan a big gala or a big benefit or something that would make a sincere impact in the same way that Kevin Costner does this event every year for first responders in the Santa Barbara area. Unless they can do something to that extent and use the platform that the British royal family presented them on a silver platter, neither one of those individuals earned their position. I think that they just need to move on from milking other people's tragedy because it looks vulgar and crass. And I I'm surprised that somebody hasn't set her down and said, we're changing your Instagram password. You can no longer have access to it.
I mean, I suspect that, to be fair to the publicists and the PRs that she employs, I suspect they probably have told her, you know, be a bit careful here. But you know what she's like. She won't listen to anyone. She thinks she knows what she's doing. The tragedy is she doesn't. Let's park Meghan there for the time being. And we'll come on to her history when she was at the Palace in Britain a little later in terms of this new book by Tom Quinn. But first, let's talk about a more pressing issue, perhaps, for the gruesome twosome up there in Montecito. This visa crisis of Harry is getting real. We know that the Heritage Foundation, Niall Gardner, by the way, the director of the Heritage Foundation, came onto my show on Monday to say that on Wednesday they would be returning to court to apply for the details of Harry's residency visa application to live in America to be made public, on the basis that subsequent to that visa application, he wrote in his book that he was a keen smoker of cannabis, a keen used cocaine, and a keen user of magic mushrooms. These are all illegal drugs, and you shouldn't have taken any drugs when you come to America. And if you put that on your visa application, why was he allowed in? And if he pretended he didn't take drugs, then he lied. And that is a federal offence, lying on a visa application. But Joe Biden, you know, crawl ass that he was, he was said, oh no, he's safe, he can stay here forever. Donald Trump says I'm not going to protect him. So the reality is now, after the court case yesterday, a judge made it pretty clear that most of the details on Harry's visa application could well now soon be made public. Now, if that is the case, and Donald Trump is true to his word, Harry's days in America may be numbered.
Oh, I mean, that is the conversation that's happening here. Even when I try to pump the brakes and say, look, I know that Melania, our first lady, is very close to King Charles. They're pen pals. I don't know if they want to jeopardize that relationship. The media I talk to over here want to blow past that as quickly as possible and say, well, but Donald Trump said this. Yes, he's very tough on immigration. Prince Harry very well could be the poster boy for the toughest president on immigration, to boot a member of the royal family. It is one of the most significant immigration cases we've seen in the United States.